Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about how a Phantom Hourglass remake will actually work on the Switch, since, as I'm sure a lot of you know, a Phantom Hourglass trademark has been registered for Phantom Hourglass. So Nintendo are looking to use this game in some sort of way, and what we're all assuming is that they're remaking this game for the Switch, as they've also had a trademark registered for Wind Waker, and everyone's been talking about Wind Waker coming to Switch. So perhaps we're going to get Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass bundled in together, but we'll see. But today we're just talking about how Phantom Hourglass will actually work on the Switch, and I think it will work a lot better than you actually think. They're obviously going to remake the graphics and just like upscale it to just all hell, and they're going to obviously keep the same sort of art style, because it is a direct sequel to the Wind Waker. They can't really change up the art style, that just wouldn't really make sense. But the thing that a lot of people are probably worried about is how are you going to control this game, because a lot of it relies on the stylus and functions that we use within the DS. One of them being the drawing, and we use drawing for puzzles, to we can draw on our map to help us out, and we use it in weapons as well. The way we can do this is obviously just a cursor. It can work so well. This isn't a worry for me at all. Something that is a worry for me though is dual screens are actually used in boss fights and other areas in the game. I'm guessing they're just gonna try and fit it all onto one screen, but the reason they use the dual screens for this is to make the room look a lot bigger, and I'm scared they're gonna try and cramp it down into one screen, and I kind of can't really see how this is gonna work, because obviously we want this game to be worked on a controller on the actual TV rather than just a tablet. So that's one worry, that it obviously can be done, but I'm kind of scared it might not be done in the best way possible, unless they just change around the bosses, which of course they can easily do, and yeah, just make it work for the Switch. Touchscreen controlling, obviously they'll just map all the buttons to an actual controller, probably similar to the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker controls, and that's all it really needs, because Phantom Hourglass is honestly just Wind Waker but top down. So I'm not worried about how this game is going to control at all. Once again, all I'm worried about is the mechanics, because next is we have to use a mic in this game to yell at people and to blow out torches and stuff. I don't know how the only way they can really get around doing this is by giving us a button to blow out torches, and giving us a button to yell at people, because yeah, part of the game was yelling at someone across the wall to try and, because we had to shout hello or something at one point, I'm not really sure. But yeah, obviously there's no mic on the Switch. They could just make an attachment for it, but who actually wants that? That would be a horrible move. So I'm guessing they're just going to attach this to a button. So that's one of my concerns, how they're going to do it. And yeah, that's that one, I guess. Next is of course sailing, because we have to use the stylus to map out where we want to sail to on the map. Of course they can just give us free control of the ship, which honestly I hope they do. That's one of the things I really wanted to do in Phantom Hourglass, actually have control over the ship itself. But the only thing I worry about is when we get to a part in the game where we actually have to, I'm not going to spoil why we're doing this, but we have to get through this certain place, and you have to map out a very specific route, and I'm not really sure how we would end up doing this if we had free control of the actual boat, unless once again we don't have free control and we just map it out with a cursor. But I hope we have control, and I'm sure Nintendo will find a way around this, and I'm sure we'll just have a map somewhere where we can follow it on the side of the screen, and yeah, that's not too much of an issue for me. One that is really gonna bring a problem is we actually have to close the actual DS itself in some points of the game to solve puzzles. I literally don't know how they're going to do this unless they just map it to a button, which obviously they can do, because there's a part in the game where you have to, I believe it's we have to put some ink or something on a map, and I'm guessing they're just going to make a mechanic where you put the map towards the actual, I'm trying to talk about this without spoiling it, but basically I'm guessing they're just gonna add some new animations rather than figuring out a way to close your Switch. Like, it really doesn't make sense. But yeah, so there's a point in the game where you do have to close your DS. So that's all I'm kind of worried about, because yeah, how are you meant to close your Switch? Like, come on, man. My biggest fear for this remake is they're making it a tablet only game where we have to control with an actual stylus that they've created for the Switch. I would be not happy at all. I really hope, and everyone really hopes, that they're going to map these controls to an actual controller that we can play on the big screen. That has literally been my dream for Phantom Hourglass for so long. I love this game, and if they remake it, it will be doing it so much justice, and I honestly cannot wait. This is honestly one of the Zelda remakes we need the most, just because no one really likes using the stylus. I don't mind it, obviously, but like, I feel like a lot of people won't really want to do that. So yeah, and also, I am really hoping this is going to open up an opportunity for a Spirit Tracks remake, because Spirit Tracks is also an amazing game. So we can basically just expect the Wind Waker trilogy on the Switch, because Phantom Hourglass is a direct sequel to Wind Waker. Spirit Tracks is a couple thousand years down the line from Phantom Hourglass, but really they are a trilogy of games, and if we get them on the Switch for the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, I'll be very happy. But all I'm saying is expect something from Phantom Hourglass and Wind Waker. There's 100% something coming for them. Actually, rather than 100% more, I don't know, 50% for a game, I guess. I don't know, we really don't know how they're going to use this. It could literally just be March. But you know, we're really hoping for an actual game. So yeah, goodbye.